Hello, and welcome to this Vivado Quick Take video, where we'll be discussing how to simulate using Cadence Incisive Enterprise Simulator, or IES, from the Vivado Integrated Design Environment. Today, you will learn how to set up the tools and invoke IES from within the Vivado GUI. We'll start with a quick introduction to the concept of compiling simulation libraries and why you might want to do this. We will then look to see how you go about setting up the project with correct simulation settings in the Xilinx Vivado Design Suite. Once we have finished setting up the simulation, we will look at how to launch IES from Vivado. Before beginning simulation, you must compile Xilinx delivered HDL-based simulation libraries for the target simulator. You must recompile the libraries if you move to a new version of Vivado or a new version of the simulators. You can simply click on the tool menu in the Vivado GUI and select Compile Simulation Libraries. The tickle command used to compile simulation libraries is called compile symlib. If you want to know more about the command and its usage, please refer to UG835, the tickle command reference guide. Let's take a look now at how we go about setting up the tool and compiling simulation libraries. We'll first go to Tools in the Vivado menu and select Options, and then set the IES simulator install path. This tells the tool to pick up the IES version you want to use. We will then go to the Tools menu and select Compile Simulation Libraries. Now we need to change the simulator selection to Incisive Enterprise Simulator, or IES. We also need to confirm that the output directory location for the compiled library is set. For this demo, I choose IESlib. As you can see, simulator executable path is automatically populated. Once you press Compile in the dialog box, Vivado will start compiling the simulation libraries. Now we need to make sure that there are no errors reported from the library compilation run. All errors should be resolved before proceeding to the next step. You can compile Xilinx simulation libraries without having a Vivado project open. This enables infrastructure and/or build engineers to easily set up Xilinx simulation libraries for use by design and verification engineers. Now that we've completed Xilinx HDL library compilation, the next step is to ensure that we have the correct simulation setting in place. Let's review the key simulation settings you need to be aware of before running a simulation. The simulator language option is a key simulation setting since it will alter the simulation output products for Xilinx IP. The recommended setting for optimal performance is mixed. If you want to know more about this behavior, refer to UG900, the Logic Simulator User Guide. You'll have to change the setting to point to the correct cds.lib file. Failing to do this may cause simulation failures. You can have Vivado generate simulation scripts for later use, and Vivado will get separate script files for compile, elaborate, and simulate steps. Finally, you can set the Verilog include file and generics and/or parameters through Simulation Setting GUI. Before we run simulation, let's quickly examine the Simulation Settings window. First, we will select the device target simulator to Incisive Enterprise Simulator. This selection enables simulator-specific settings in compilation, elaboration, and simulation. Now select Simulator option. For this demo, I'll choose Mixed, since I have a mixed language license. Note, choosing VHDL or Verilog may cause simulation slowdown depending on the Xilinx IP used in your design. If you want Vivado to generate just the scripts to run simulation in IES for the project, then you can check the Generate Scripts Only option. This option is sticky, so if clicking on Run Simulation does not launch the simulator, then there is a good chance that this option is checked. Now point to the location of the cds.lib file generated by compile symlib using the Compile Library Location option. Finally, if you have any additional options to specify for ncvhdl, ncvlog, ncelab, or ncsim command, then you can use the More options in compilation, elaboration, and simulation tabs to do the same. Simulation flow uses a three-step process: compile, elaborate, and simulate. NCVHDL or NCVlog for compile, NCElab for elaborate, and NCSim for simulate. Vivado creates separate scripts for each flow so that users can take the compile and/or elaborate script to their own and custom environment. The tickle command used to generate the script and launch the simulation is called launch simulation. You can learn more about the command in UG 835 Tickle Command Reference Guide. Finally, if you want to generate a script for an IP in a project, then you use launch simulation to do so using the -of-objects command. Now that we've compiled the libraries and set up the simulator through simulation settings, let's run a quick simulation. I've opened a 10 gig Ethernet MAC example design for this and clicked on Run Simulation. Vivado will inform you every step of the simulation process through the Run Simulation progress bar. Once the compile and elaborate completes, with no errors, GUI will be launched. Running simulation from the GUI is extremely easy once you set up the tools and compile the libraries. To summarize the simulation flow, we first have to make sure we are using the right version of the simulator, and this information can be found in Vivado Release Notes User Guide 973. Second, we have to compile the simulation libraries. And third, we set up and verify simulation settings for the project. And of course, all these steps are documented in Logic Simulation User Guide UG 900. Thank you for watching this Vivado Quick Take video on how to simulate Cadence IES simulator in Vivado.